Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and today we're outside. The temperatures are cooler, still humid, but much cooler. And I'm going to take the time to work on this bed and a little portion of one of the beds over there. We're going to be just doing a general cleanup. I'm going to show you some of the plants that are in there, and we're going to be getting it prepped for more fall blooms. Okay, so we had like an inch and a half of rain yesterday, which was awesome, and the temperatures are cooler today. Still humid, but oh my gosh, just like 20 degrees cooler, which is amazing. And I really have been wanting to do some work in this bed. So let me bring y'all in closer. Let me show you what's going on. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on this raised bed across here. And this is an 8-foot long raised bed. And we've got a lot going on in here. We've got some beautiful Soloa. We've got some great zinnias. But under a lot of this, we have a lot of Rebecca that needs to be trimmed up and cleaned up. There are some additional perennials back here. We've got Zulu Warrior back there that needs to be pulled out. Just several different little things that need to be taken care of. So let's go ahead and start with that. It's gonna look pretty dramatic because we are gonna cut out a lot of stuff, but still, I think it's gonna feel a lot better. Okay, I've got a lot of volunteer Soloa here, and I'm gonna be taking quite a bit of it down pretty far. Just because I have a lot of Soloa in the rest of the garden. And I want to kind of clear this space a little bit. I do have some perennials back here. I don't remember which perennials they are, but there are some under here. But let's take this back really, really far. Those are gorgeous. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in here. So right here and right here are Fama scabiosa. This is a Fama scabiosa. It's got several of them over here. They were very much covered up by the Soloa. So by pulling this out, it's giving it the opportunity to breathe some and perhaps put on another round of blooms prior to our first frost. So that's kind of nice. So we got a lot of Soloa seedlings. Soloa is something, if you plant it in your garden, you're going to have it forever. I'm cool with that, but not everybody is. Now over here we have the remnants of a David's phlox that I thought was dead. But apparently it's not. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim it, save the bloom. I would love it if it ends up making it. Also right here I've got, this is a cantaloupe vine coming up through here. See if I can get it to stay. Got a cantaloupe vine coming up here, which is great. And then this right here is a randomly seeded white snapdragon, which we are about, mine typically bloom in the spring, and then typically they'll come back for the fall. So that is very exciting. Okay, right here we have some Rebecca that I grew from seed last summer. And I'm just gonna come in here and cut out a lot of the dead stuff and kind of clean it up a little bit. And then I'm going to cut back its blooms in hopes of encouraging another round of blooms to come up. Just like that. Just pull out any dead stuff. This guy is putting off a brand new bloom. Go ahead and take him all the way down. Okay, here's a Rebecca plant that has succumbed to the heat. So just clear that up. And we're really just looking to get rid of anything that might be telling the plant that it needs to go dormant. I'm getting down in here, I'm seeing a lot of brand new foliage coming up, which is great. This one is putting off some new blooms. We're going to go ahead and cut it far back. And we're going to be harvesting really far back on these zinnias because I would like them to work on giving me one more good flush this year. Okay, we've got another Rebecca that has succumbed. Oh, I guess there is one kind of left. Let's see if I can get this guy planted back in. Might have already messed him up now though, since I pulled him up. Looks like that. Let's go ahead and clean up some of these others. Now some of them are definitely putting on a bunch of new growth. I see a bunch of new leaves, which is exciting. It's kind of nice just to get out here and clean up. And even though I am sweating, it is so humid. At least it's not 105. Okay, this guy's looking really rough right there. Doesn't look good, so we'll go ahead and pull him. Okay, I think I'm going to just go ahead and take this Soloa out right there. Okay, so in here we have something trying to grow. I have some Zulu Warrior in here, and I grew it from seed. Thought I would love it. Don't. It is too prickly and painful to deal with. I cannot harvest anything from it. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that up. Let me get in here and see if I can find it. And then I'll have to really keep an eye out for it this next year to make sure I don't get it coming back. And this is part of it right here. These plants are very prickly. These are what the flowers look like. Very pretty, but yeah, I can't do that. It's just too many thorns. Oh my gosh, this butterfly just will not leave. Okay, also got some spurge weeds in here. get in here and pull up. Clear out a little bit because I do have some Veronica that I grew from seed as well. And I'm going to give that a little bit of cutback. Okay, here's the Veronica plant, and it is coming back at the base, but you can see some of the flowers. Let's see what else we got in here. All right, so we're going to cut back several of these Veronica. Here's another one that's kind of long. See if we can't get it restarted. Maybe some additional blooms for the fall. This is all it right here, here, and here. And then, of course, we just have more of the Rebecca right here. All right. And then to finish off, I'm going to cut back all the way over here, even though it's a different bed. I can take these gloves off now. Coral Zena are beautiful. Okay, seriously. What a dramatic difference. Look at all the debris over there. And over there. And then, of course, a massive bucket of flowers. Looking good. I'm glad to get all this pulled out. I'm going to try and stay on top of some of these Soloa seedlings coming up. But let's see if this will give us another round of blooms for the fall. So what I'm going to do next is I bought some flower tone. So I'm going to go ahead and add flower tone at the base of each of these plants to see if we can get some blooms going. Okay, so I've got my flower tone. It basically says it's a bloom booster. I've never used it before, I don't believe. It's for abundant blooms, all natural, long-lasting, ideal for annuals and perennials. So anyway, I don't follow whatever the rules are in the back. Fertilizing. I'm basically just going to go in here and I'm going to go to the base of each plant. I'm going to drop some fertilizer down here, okay? That's pretty much it. We're expecting some more rain, which I'm really excited about. So I hope that this will help it work its way into some of these spots. All right. Looks good. Okay, so we're going to work over this way. Now this is where I planted a bunch of Casablanca lilies with liatras, and then they did some drainage work through here and dug everything up. Super frustrating. Anyway, these lilies have been up for months, so we're done. I'm tired of looking at them, so I'm going to go ahead and take them all the way down to the ground, the liatras and the lilies. At this point in time, they're trying to make seed pods, which we don't really want it to do that. We don't need seed pods, and I'd rather it just leave its energy in the bulb. So I got to be careful here because these bulbs haven't been here forever and ever. So I want to just come through and cut everything at the base. And I'm not really like looking for these to like come back or anything. They've already done their thing for this year. This that I'm pulling up right here is basil. We don't need that. We have a lot of basil in a lot of other places. Just pulling that up, clearing it out. Now, ideally, we would wait until all the lilies were or all the stems were all the way brown. But it's okay. I don't really know what this space is going to look like next year anyways because of the way they pulled everything up. It sucked. Super upsetting. We might need to replant this next year, but it's okay. If I need to come in here with some additional Casablanca lilies, we'll do that. Be all right. It's not the end of the world. First world problems, right? Complaining about my garden. Darn, I cut a sunflower. I wasn't paying attention. Crap. I wanted that. Got some sunflowers back there getting ready to bloom. So I accidentally pulled out a couple of bulbs right here. So we're going to go ahead and just tuck all those back down. Okay, right here is more basil that we do not need. Get that big plant. Okay, and then I do have some phlox blooming here, but we're going to go ahead and cut it back as well. See if we can't encourage a new round to come through. And we do have more cantaloupe right there. Okay, lost my mind a little bit with basil. Gave it like a massive haircut over there. Sorry, I got distracted and didn't move the camera. Anyway, we got this all cleared up, looking better over here. Once this dies back a little bit more, we're going to be adding a layer of compost and mulch in this area. We got that cleaned up, have a round of sunflowers coming up, cut back the zinnia dramatically, but we'll get more blooms before the end of the year, and cut back the basil quite dramatically as well. Just looking good. So I'm going to take a break and we're going to come back, and the next thing we're going to work on is right here in this container. I'm going to be installing a juniper, and I'm going to let it grow within that iron trellis and eventually over time trim it to be a topiary right here. Okay, it's actually the next thing, and we're going to be working right here. Let's see what I got going in here before I pull all this up. All right, this, I used to have passion vine in here and it did not make it. This right here is green dragon crest that I'm just pulling out. And what I'm really wanting to put in here is an evergreen. Let me show y'all what I'm thinking. So I have this guy, bought on clearance last fall and never got him planted. It's a Juniper Blue Point. And these guys get really big. They get 10 to 12 feet tall. But the idea is that I would plant it in here and I would use the outside trellis as a guide. So as it started coming past the trellis, I would trim. And so the idea being that it would be molded in a shape to this trellis, which I think could be super cool. And the thing about these is you can top them to keep them from getting any taller. This one would still have a ways to go before I would be going to that point. But these are deer resistant, drought tolerant, full sun, hardy down to negative 30 degrees. They are going to need to be watered, and I do have drip irrigation set up to this pot. So I think it could be really good. I also think that having this kind of blue-green tone would be really nice in this particular area, and having this consistent structure in this space, not only for winter, but for also the hottest times of the year when there's not a ton of stuff growing over here. But anyway, I believe I got this guy for like half off. I think he was like $6.50. I mean, he was super cheap. He might have been even more off than that. But yeah, I think that this could be a really cool idea to kind of create a topiary type plant with it. So I'm just going to prop that up right there for a second. And these are my drip that I have in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull that out for right now, and we'll pin that back in. And I am going to put some biotone in here. So we got some biotone fertilizer. All right. Oh my gosh, it's been in here forever. It is probably going to be so happy to get out of here and to start growing in this container. Okay, so I am putting the less full side out towards the sun so it can fill in a little bit, which I think will be helpful. There we go. And then got my drip lines. I'll go ahead and pin those back in place, just like that. I think it'd be really fun to add some fairy lights here. I think I might have some. Let me go in and look, we'll see. I think that'll be really nice. There's nothing to really do with it now, no trimming to do with it now. Just really allow it to grow up. Once it starts getting outside the structure, it'll be really easy to just follow the lines and create this kind of monument style topiary. I think will look really, really cool. Adding more evergreens is definitely something I want to do. More structured pieces that can just really kind of add a level of maturity to the garden. I think would be really, really good. Okay, yes, I had thought ahead. So I've got some solar fairy lights. Got 2 sets, got them on Amazon. I'll link them in my Amazon storefront. They look very simple to put together. And I'm going to start the lights up top, around here. And then I think I'm just going to start wrapping them all the way around. And then I think every once in a while, I'll just go around like that, y'all. Lighting is something I've really wanted to add to the garden, and I've been collecting a lot of different lighting over time. So like a couple of years ago for Mother's Day, we got string lights. I haven't gotten around to putting them up, but we will. And they're all solar. And then these little fairy guys, these are all solar. Okay, we'll come back and check this evening and see if it works. If it does work, I have another set, which would be cool to kind of tuck these into some different portions of the yard to really kind of create something really magical. All right, you all, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Truthfully, since we started working on this video, Jeff and I have been working on more mulching for the back part of the yard, which is very exciting. It's very hot, it's very humid. But I hope you all enjoyed today's video, seeing me really kind of clean up some of the flower beds and prepping them for fall, going ahead and fertilizing them, cleaning up another area where I had a bunch of bulbs. I still do need to drop a full bag of mulch in that, compost in that area, which I didn't do, but I'll get to that at a later point in time, and getting the new evergreen planted for a future topiary, which I think will be very cool. And after this, I will, at the very end of this video, I'll go ahead and come out here and show you guys what it looks like at nighttime. All right, y'all, as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow my channel so much. And if you don't feel comfortable commenting, just go ahead and drop me an emoji below, letting me know you made it to the end and that you say hi. Also, be sure to check me out on my social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.